I don't think Zeke or Dodger would have done this, but did you sign up for the Battlefield Labs?
Yeah, buddy. No, I didn't.
Okay. The Battlefield Labs was announced on Monday.
They can talk to me when they announce 2143, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, he goes in for 2043.
Did you just dab?
Yeah.
That's Dodger's.
Get out.
No, she's allowed
Get
to stay.
out.
You could stay, Dodger. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, don't listen to him.
Yeah.
No, they get rid of me before they got rid of you. I was just kidding.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
if you need to go, Zeke, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like if the dab was too much,
Yeah, that's
you can go. It's okay.
Great. You got to dab every once in a while. The Battlefield Labs was announced on Monday, which is kind of an interesting, weird thing. Go ahead.
What are the Battlefield Labs?
Yeah, let's get into it. It is, quote, their most ambitious community development collaboration ever. It's an opportunity to provide feedback, validate the future of Battlefield, and have a direct and lasting impact on the next generation of Battlefield games. Essentially, it's like pre-alpha, according to them, pre-alpha game testing. You can sign up for it. Anyone can sign up for it. Okay. It's under an NDA, but they're trying to get as many people playing it as possible to get that feedback.
The part about this that is hilarious is, first of all, they're basically bringing in something that you would have a paid position for,
right?
Or pay people to do, including testing and that kind of stuff. And then the other thing is, I love how they call this the most ambitious thing, but probably one of the only reasons they're doing this is because of how poorly received the previous ones have been. So it's kind of like, will you please tell us how to do this properly? We've put this program together for you. Tell us what we need to give you, because clearly we aren't doing it properly. So, well, what if you please step up and tell us how to do this?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. That's exactly what it is. And I kind of respect it if we get a better game because of it, but you're 100% right. It's all marketing at this point, right?
The only thing I really don't like about it is how this is very Huck Finn. Like they're very much floating. They're very much floating this to us like, oh, this is a huge benefit to us. But everyone who signs up for that should understand that none of that would be necessary if they were doing it properly themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't need this. We wouldn't have a Battlefield Labs if 2042 was a good game.
Right.
So it's like, and again, all the stuff that people are going to be doing for them. Yeah, it's kind of cool that you're adding in, but all this stuff they could have had in the past, for free, if they had listened to their communities when they were doing this stuff. So I don't know. Like you just have to you have to think about why they're doing things like this, and they don't quite seem as good as they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when it comes from a company like EA. This kind of thing from a company like Larian would hit different. But when it's like a company that's EA, like where they've had access to everything they're going to get from this, they just kind of decided not to listen to it. Like that's very different. That's different.
Yeah,
it just hits different.
I can't refute what you're saying. Absolutely.
The difference between when you look at the company, do you think that they're actually going to listen to what you're saying?
or are they just trying to make you feel listened to? And they're just going to keep doing whatever they're going to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're trying to be like, look, we got gamers just like you involved in the development process.
And then the entire Battlefield Labs is just them testing monetization to see how far they can push it. Like that's that. I can entirely seeing that. That
would really, that would be shitty.
Yeah.
Also, JP, don't think I didn't see this.
What?
Okay.
I'm just promoting your podcast.
Don't think that I didn't notice that. All right.
I'm promoting your podcast. What's wrong with that? The one that you mysteriously invited me on this past week on the one Friday that I couldn't actually come on, Dodger. There's 51 other Fridays in the year.
How funny, though, would that have been if after going real hard at Jesse about how you haven't been back on Geekenders, if literally the next week you were on Geekenders? That would have been very funny.
True. It would have been good. I'm down.
It's not my fault that you're popular and you were already doing shit, okay?
Yeah, okay. I'll take that.
Someone had to eat food in the tub. He had to test Grub Tub. I mean, come on.
I was talking with my VTubers about Tub Grub on Friday. We had a meeting about the Tub Grub and VTubers, yeah. It's good. The other thing, by the way, Battlefield Labs announced that they have 4 studios working on Battlefield this time around. Ripple Effect, Motive, Criterion, and Dice. They make up the Battlefield team that came out of that video. So 4 different studios, each one of those studios working on a different aspect of Battlefield.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. There's like Dice, I think, is handling the multiplayer. Motive is the single player. I don't know what the other. Criterion is like they made like Burnout, and so I guess I don't know what they're doing. It's wild. There's a lot of stuff happening with all that.
I have to say, in an age of like people getting more and more adverse to AAA and, you know, things like Concord and Sony messing up all over the place, I don't really see like we have multiple studios working on this single game. I don't see that as a plus. Like that just makes that, I instantly think too many cooks, like
I mean,
too many resources. That game's going to be expensive. Like we're still talking about a video game.
I mean,
why do you need 4 studios working on a video, like a single
Larian's
game?
got 7.
But I mean, this is a Battlefield game. They're going to make the same freaking game they have the last 30 times. Like, why do you need this? They're not doing anything different here.
Yeah. I mean, Call of Duty has 4.
BG3 needed 7. Yeah, BG3 also made the first big CRPG in 20 years.
Sure.
It's like
it was a different.
And even
deal.
then, their 7 studios were probably a lot smaller than probably one of those EA studios.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
Is there something to be said for the fact that like I assume that Battlefield is this way, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Like sometimes games like this have lots of different modes.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah.
And so different studios are in charge of different modes, right?
Correct. Yeah. That's exactly the.
And it sounds
the
like
case for this.
from what JP was saying, like if they have one guy doing multiplayer, then they may have broken it apart technically too, like and you know, which would differentiate it even more. But
yeah.
Still seems like a weird thing to be promoting. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think because it comes from EA, it's still a little weird. 100%. That was to circle back to what you said originally, Co. I agree with you. Because it came from EA, it's a little weird. I waited in queue to sign up for this thing on Monday I started my stream and I was 120,000, in queue. And by like 9 p.m., I think I got in. So it was about 9 hours later, I was able to literally just click 2 buttons. That's all I had to do. It was 100,000 plus queue, nine hours later to click 2 buttons, which seems kind of silly.
Soren is another streamer, and he did the same thing, except when he clicked the button, it refreshed the page.
He couldn't get in. Oh,
and he was not able to get it, from what I understand.
That's
funny. My God, I'd crash out.
Of course, in classic Soren, though, he was like, well, waited, X hours, didn't get in. Anyway, oh well, gonna start my stream up. And I was like, man, I would have broken like, oh my God. Like, the man has the patience of a saint.
Oh, man. Yeah, there was...
I don't know if this happens to a lot of people, but like, you ever been standing in line for an hour or two, then you get to the front of the line and realize you're in the wrong fucking line?
Yeah, that's kind of similar.
After an hour or two?
I lose my mind when that happens. Like, I don't understand how you, like,
See,
yeah.
I think I have too much...
How often does that happen, Zeke?
Yeah. I have too much anxiety, Zeke, that it will never happen to me, because the second I get in line, I start, hey, what are you in line for?
What are you in line for? I asked the exact same thing, if I'm not sure.
But if everybody in the line is unsure, what do you do? Do you stay in that line, or do you leave that line? Because if you leave the line, your spot's fucking gone, dude. So like,
I'm that
hey, are you
asshole
in line for
that
this?
walks
like,
up to the front.
This is the line for the this.
Yeah.
I think this is the line for the ice cream. It's like, what about you? It's like, yeah, I think this is it. And then you get up there and they're serving like quiche or something. You're like, what the fuck? Did no one know this was the line for quiche? I wanted ice cream.
Do you stand in a lot of lines, Zeke, for quiche and ice cream?
Big Q boy.
Sometimes. I mean, yeah. I mean, you need someone to sample the flavors for tub grub.
Well,
And that's what I'm doing.
that's right. I was about to say
That's
that
true.
for tub grub, we've got a tub always open to grub. You know what I'm saying? I got to workshop that more.
Yeah, we gotta take that one back.
Yeah. It's I'm still
No,
working on it.
I mean, honestly, it hasn't happened more than a handful of times, but my point is, it has happened, and I don't like get mad at other people. I only get mad at myself. But I do make a scene about me, myself, and I being very upset with all three of us.
Okay.
And everybody knows it.
Fair.
I just got an image of Zeke in like the DMV in the back pulling a Napoleon Dynamite. Like, God, I'm an idiot. God.
No, it's the oh my God. This is a kind of a deep cut, but have you ever seen Punch Drunk Love?
Sure.
When he goes into the bathroom and he just beats the shit out of everything in the bathroom, he like tears off the stall door and he like punches the paper towel dispensers like that. And he goes, he walks out and he goes, I beat up the bathroom. I'm sorry, I beat up the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's me. That's totally me.